Hey guys, hope you're doing great. My name is Arina Fadeva or Tutor AF. AF stands for my initials actually. So yeah, great meeting you here. And I'm gonna do like 3 or 5 lessons on writing task 1 and writing task 2, like 10, 13 minutes lessons. Everything on point, no fluff, just I promise you, everything you need to know, just the basics. Yeah, to writing task 1 and writing task 2. Academic, yeah, I'm teaching only academic IELTS. If you want to know more about me, you can go on Instagram and find tutor AF underscore AF and go to my website. Unfortunately, I have 3 books in Russian, only in Russian available. There are no books in English yet. So I'm working on them and I'm going to just released a couple of books on writing part 1 and writing part 2 for you guys to download and practice. Anyway, you can go on tutoraf.com and download free material with speaking questions, speaking part 1 questions, speaking part 2 questions, everything you need till May, till the end of May. They are getting changed in June. And well, there's a lot, yeah, I guess there's a lot to download. Band descriptors, checklists, what else? I just don't remember. Like, I guess 10 files. I threw 10 files there just for you guys to practice. Well, let's get to the topic. So today's mini lecture is going to be about writing task 1, IELTS academic, of course, writing task 1, and it's going to be just a basic lecture for those who just don't know where to start. So you just know that task 1 is there, so but you don't know exactly what this task 1 is about. Well, actually, there are different types of a task 1, and you can get like any type at your exam. So it can be a table, it can be a pie chart. So pie chart, yeah, basically looks like a pie with percentage. It's always 100%, and well, there are quarters, there are halves, so it's pretty easy to compare. All right, tables, pie charts, line graphs, they are pretty easy too. So they're usually dynamic and they show the dynamic of something, if something increased or decreased and how, and yeah, they're pretty easy. Bar charts could be practically the same. Well, if you can draw a line, so here's a bar chart. Bar is not a bar where you go for a drink. So actually, if you can draw a line, so it could be dynamic. Sometimes bar charts are not dynamic, and you just compare, they are static, and you just compare the percentage or the number of people or whatever. So they are different, but they are pretty easy. Then there could be multiple graphs, and there could be the combination of two graphs. For example, there could be a table telling you something, and there could be a line graph, or there could be 2 pie charts, for example, or even 3 or 4 or 6 of them. I don't know, like multiple. So these types of tasks are pretty much the same. I'll tell you the basic information a little bit later about these graphs. And like the language is pretty much the same. So you don't need to show off here. You just don't need any imagination. Pure data, just boring report. Report what you see, compare the data. All right, so these types of graphs, they usually have either some kind of percentage or the amount of something or the number of something. So they have pretty much the same vocabulary, and you can learn it and you can use it. Yeah, as soon as you get this, well, it's fine. It's relatively easy. If we look at these, they're a little bit different. So let's get to diagrams, processes, and life cycles. Well, a diagram actually can be some kind of instruction, and it shows just different steps of something. For example, how to, I don't know, how to peel oranges, how to produce milk, I don't know, like anything, or like how to make juice out of oranges, something like that. Well, I'm a little bit, yeah, it's more like a process diagram. A diagram, just a usual diagram, could be also kind of algorithm, how to get a driving license, for example. And there are various steps. If you get your score on the first level of a driving test, I guess it's just a computer test. If you get this, you go here. If you don't, you go here. It's some kind of algorithm. So it's like an instruction. It's a little bit different from a process diagram. While a process diagram usually shows a process done by a person. For example, the production of cheese. So first, something is done with milk, then there's the next stage where, yeah, you produce cheese when you cut it, and then you just, I don't know, send it to supermarkets and customers buy it. Yeah, something like that, a man-made process. Whereas life cycle is usually a life cycle of some animal or an insect or like any other creature on earth. So it's a little bit different. It's a cycle, so it goes this way or another way. I don't know, I guess it backwards, but it's fine. It goes backwards, but it's fine. All right, for example, fish eggs. You got fish eggs, and then they turn into just these little fish, and then it gets bigger, and then there's an adult fish, and so on. So yeah, pretty much weird, but okay. As soon as you get to this, it's fine. Then there are maps. Usually you're supposed to compare a couple of maps. They are different. So there could be maps about they can show the layout of some building, or there could be some kind of town center or a city center which is getting changed in the future, which has been changed right now, or like, yeah, different tenses again. So pretty much you kind of compare what's going on here, how many new buildings they got, or something like that. So I usually divide these tasks into two groups. So these are about the numbers, okay? Usually, so you deal with numbers and certain vocabulary here. These, well, usually you kind of describe something here, like a diagram, a process, a life cycle. In maps, you just compare. So it's like a little bit different because you need different language here for comparison or description of a process. So it's pretty easy. It's always in passive voice. I mean, a man-made process. Life cycle could be not in passive voice. It's usually active because there is a fish which is growing, or there is a bug which is growing. Like, yeah, it's different. All right, I know that it sounds weird right now, but let's get to it. I'm gonna explain to you what's going on here, and mostly we're going to focus on graphs right now, and the next lesson is going to be about maps and processes, because they are a little bit different from graphs. So graphs can be static and dynamic, okay? And your main task is to compare, not just to enumerate the data, and not just saying that increased, decreased, fell, rose, and so on, one by one. No, you just group the data and you compare, and you say that it increased significantly while this decreased slightly compared to this. Okay, just learn to compare, because it's your task. That's how a typical IELTS writing part 1 looks like, all right? So you have a task here. So it says what, where, and when, what the graph is about. This is a bar chart, okay, because we see these bars. And this is a typical task for IELTS. Every table, line graph, bar chart, I don't know, diagram, every IELTS task is going to have the same task. All right, summarize the information by, all right, I'll just circle it. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So that's your task. The first thing is to summarize. So you actually write the overview about the whole picture. Here it's a dynamic graph because there are 3 years and actually 2020 here because refer to the current year 2020 and future predictions. As you can see, a lot of grammar. Yeah, because it's gonna be past simple, it's gonna be present perfect, it's gonna be future and different types, different variations of future. Yeah, so you can do it with passive voice, you can do it with is, are, likely to, or not only will or is going to, right? So just show your grammar level here. So summarize just the big picture. Yeah, here, and here. Yeah, what has happened or will happen. Yeah, but here. And of course, you compare international tourism, dairy products, and meat products, everything. You have to mention everything because you're comparing the years in these kind of sections. Yeah, then these are the main features, and you make comparisons. So as you can see, this is a dynamic graph. That's why you say it increased gradually. Here, as you can see, it increased and then slightly decreased. And here, it decreased. It will decrease slightly. Sorry, it's the future. Yeah. So this is a dynamic graph. And all you can do is, all you should do, sorry, you have to summarize, you have to write an overview, just the big picture, no numbers, and then go to details and to compare. That's your task. All right, it's a table and it's not it's not dynamic, by the way, it's static. And you just compare the oldest and the newest subway in these cities, then the longest and the shortest, and then the most crowded and the less crowded one, right? So don't write increase, decrease, because there's this table is not dynamic, obviously. So I'm just showing you different types of tasks here. Smartphones and tables, these are pie charts. So you just compare how much time, I guess, time spent, how much time people spend on smartphones and on tablets on different categories. Again, more, less time are more popular. For example, games are more popular on tablets than on smartphones. So you just compare. It's relatively easy. Again, a static graph. Most students come to me and say like, oh, it's easy and I can learn just, I don't know, 3-4 words and write these graphs. Yeah, that's true. You use the same vocabulary every time you describe a graph, but you can get a static graph, right? So this is a mixed graph or a multiple one because you have a bar chart and a pie chart here. So basically what you need to do is write an overview and like to mention the big numbers here, the big picture, something like that. For example, people traveled mostly from, I guess it's some kind of year because we don't have a task here. All right, let's suppose it was taken in the past. This data was taken in the past. Like the majority of people were traveled to and from work or commuted to and from work. However, the main problems were the price of travel and safety concerns, or you can just only say about the cost of travel. For example, just mention the big numbers in your overview and it's going to be good. It's going to be great because it's your task. If you don't mention it, if you don't say anything in general about the graph, you're gonna lose a lot. You gotta get just 4 for your task achievement. This is the first criteria here. Yeah, like you're gonna lose. Yeah, this is a line graph. So again, you say you say the big picture. So 2 of them decreased, 2 of them increased. Yeah, and say something about the biggest differences. I would say Sweden, yeah, had the biggest changes here because you see it increased really gradually and then it decreased significantly. So it had a significant decrease. So in line graphs, it's really easy because they're always about dynamics. So you will always have something increasing, decreasing. Yeah, just write the big picture. What happened to all of them? What happened to all the countries? So in 2 countries, the average carbon dioxide emissions decreased, in 2 of them increased, but don't give the numbers, and then pick up 1 country with the biggest changes. That's the easiest way to write an overview. All right. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm supposed to give you an overview on all types of writing part 1. Oh God. Okay, sure. So it's a little bit different right now because it's a diagram which shows the process how solar panels can be used to provide water for domestic use. Guys, don't forget, you have only 20 minutes for this at the exam. It would take like 10 minutes to me personally to get head or tail of it because it's like, oh gosh, I'm a girl. I want to go shopping. I don't want to do this. All right. Anyways, so look at the picture, count the stages, like how many stages it has, or like how many areas it has. I would say something in the overview. I would say that there are 3 main parts in the process involving a solar panel, a pump or a bore underground, and a water tank. So it's kind of 3 places where the process takes place. And then I would count stages and say that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many stages. So in processes, it's a little bit different. We don't have any data to compare. So we just describe it. We don't compare anything here. We just describe. And in the overview, we write the big picture. How many stages, how many something, some areas involved in this particular diagram. And then we just describe. Then we just say, at the first stage, blah, 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 something happens. At the next stage, then after that, and so on. All right, this is a cycle and a process together. I'm pretty sure you can't see clearly. I'm sorry, it's just a photo from a Cambridge book. But anyways, a life cycle of a silkworm. If you don't know who the silkworm is, it's fine. You will get it from the picture. So as you can see, they're worms, they're just growing here, blah, 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 and there is a butterfly, and so on. Describe this process, count how many stages it has. Then there is another process, a process of production of silk cloth. All right, again, it has some stages, and you will always see some verbs like select, boil, unwind, twist, weave. Just change these verbs into passive voice. Is selected, is boiled. is unwound, is twisted, and so on. Just change it, and it's pretty easy. This description is pretty easy, but again, it depends. If you've never practiced it, do this. And the last type, let me see. Yeah, the last type is all about maps. All right. So you will always be given a couple of maps, 2 maps, and yeah, in your overview, don't write a lot of details because you won't have anything to compare further. That's why write something in general. As you can see here, we have a couple of buildings. And the building of Science and Technology Museum and a car park. So you just can say that the building will be a little bit changed. The size of the building is going to be changed, and the car park is going to be divided into 2. While there is going to be, oh no, sorry, it's 2016, then everything is in the past. Okay, a new building with a solar wind area was built, okay, in the southeast. Am I good at this? I hope so. All right, so just learn all these, the north, the east, the south. Oh my God, in the northeast. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm a linguist, so I'm really bad at this. No, I'm fine. I'm okay. I just need more time. Okay, so what you need to do is just to compare the biggest changes. Like something happened with the building, then something happened with the car park, something happened with this little park. There were 4 trees, and now there are only 2 because the rest are here. Okay, yeah, you can write about the biggest changes and about something that has been has been the same, has remained the same. Yeah, so it's up to you. Well, again, let's just wind up and look at the task itself, what they need from us. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So you need to do the information transfer task. This is the visual information you are given with the graph, with a bar chart, with a map, with a diagram, whatever. And what you need to do, write an introduction, change the task, just change the words there, write an introduction, an overview, a summary, a big picture of what you see, and then present the key features, just compare them, because the task is make comparisons where relevant, because this is a typical task for all of them. And in case you're given a diagram, you don't need to make comparisons there. That's why they write where relevant, right? Okay, a really important thing here. Most people don't describe everything and they lose marks. Yes, you're not supposed to describe everything because they ask you to describe the main features. I mean, report the main features. Let's see. In the criteria, they say that the key features should be presented. What are the key features? That's like from the band descriptors. You can download them on any official site, British Council, IDP, I don't know, IELTS.org, anywhere. Just search for IELTS Writing Task 1 band descriptors, and you will get 4 criteria on different band descriptors. Task achievement, coherence, cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accuracy. There are 4 of them, but now we're speaking about the task achievement, what they ask you to do and how you achieve it. Because people, even with good language skills, they fail this and they get only 6 just because they don't know how to compare data, what to do, and what the task asks for. Okay, let's look at 7, a pretty much good bad, C1. Okay, you need to clearly present and highlight the key features. what are the key features? The key features are whatever you are being shown, whatever. So you can be shown a graph with 5 age groups. The key features are 5 age groups. So anyways, you have to mention all 5 age groups in your description. Then if you have a pie chart with 5 types of fuel, yeah, 5 types of fuel are going to be your key features, because some students think that they have to omit something. They don't have to describe everything. That's why they lose marks. If you are given 2 maps, then 2 maps are the key features, okay? If a process consists of 7 stages, then 7 stages are the key features. Exactly. If a chart shows 3 products, then 3 products are the key features. All right. So to get 7, you need to describe key features in the visual diagram. So if you don't get what I'm talking about, let me show you. Oh yeah, we're about to finish. Just one thing. Let me just show you the main features. Okay, the main features are these 4 countries, and you still need to mention all of them, right? Because a lot of students think that if they ask us to report the main features, we're not supposed to write about everything, but it's a little bit different what they mean, okay? Some students think, okay, I don't have to write about Portugal. I won't write about it because I have to report the main features. And they write about the United Kingdom, Sweden, Italy, that's it, and they lose marks. So what they mean in band descriptors, key features, are all the countries. But of course, you don't have to describe everything here, everything here, everything here, and everything here. No, of course, just, I don't know, divide it into 2, say something like group the data here, group the data here, and group the data here. Yeah, just, you don't have to describe everything, that's correct, but you have to mention all the countries. Yeah, if you are given if you are given, for example, these and these, some people will omit something, and that's not right, that's not correct. Of course, these is like, definitely it should go separately because it's almost a half. Yeah, and then I would probably say like something general about these, but I would still mention all the reasons here. Then again, about the pie chart, so you can definitely say something, oh God, something about 36%, then I would do something with these and something with these. Like, I would just group it, and it would be short and simple, and you would write it in 15 or 20 minutes, because remember, you have only 20 minutes maximum for this. Nobody is going to time you. It's like, you do this. But you have an essay to write. Remember, it's worth, so it's worth 2 marks, and you have to write more than 250 there. Here's, it's more than 150. All right, anyways, it was just an introduction to all the graphs and the task and what you need to do. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, just feel free to comment down below. Find me on Instagram. I don't know, text me here if you want to. And you can go to my website and download free material and paid material, everything you want. And the next lesson is going to be about the graphs, and I'm going to tell you how to compare graphs in more detail. All right, guys, see you. Thank you very much for watching once again. Bye.